To check for viability of bowel, look for XX peristalsis, positions XX bleeding in mesentery and bowel wall XX friability, friable, flabby muscle is seen in ischemia XX color, black pink, dull and lustreless serosa is seen in ischemia. XX serosal shining. Warm saline-soaked mop is placed over the doubtful area with 100% oxygen inhalation for 20 minutes. If color becomes normal with peristalsis, then bowel is viable. On-table Doppler study may be useful. Fluorescence study may be helpful on table to check the viability. 1000 mg of fluorescein is injected into the peripheral vein and bowel is inspected under Wood's UV light. Non-viable loops are identified which requires resection and anastomosis. If bowel is not viable, resection and anastomosis is done. A good peritoneal wash is given and the abdominal cavity is drained. Abdomen is closed in layers using non-absorbable sutures, polyethylene, polypropylene, nylon. Often tension sutures are required. Small bowel can be decompressed using Savage's decompressor. In case of right-sided colonic obstruction, right hemicolectomy with ileocolic anastomosis is done. In case of left-sided colonic obstruction, left hemicolectomy, resection, and colocolic anastomosis is done with a defunctioning colostomy, right-sided transverse, which is closed after 6 weeks. Obstruction due to rectosigmoid growth with patient being severely ill, Hartmann's operation can be done to save the life of the patient wherein distal stump after removal of the growth is closed, proximal colon is brought out as end colostomy. Second look operation may be needed in doubtful cases or multiple segment obstructions in 24 to 48 hours to confirm viability. Laparoscopic approach may be useful in partial obstruction, proximal obstruction, obstruction due to band. Conversion when needed, should be done without hesitation. Acute postoperative obstruction is difficult to identify and manage. CT is very useful. Initially it is treated conservatively, 90%, but suspected ischemic cases or persistent obstruction becomes an indication for surgery. Resection with exteriorization may be the choice. Post-surgery complications: XX pelvic abscess, XX subphrenic abscess, XX biliary or fecal fistulas, XX burst abdomen, XX bands and adhesions, XX incisional hernias. Duodenal atresia. It is the commonest site of intestinal atresia. It is usually a complete stenosis of the second part of duodenum at the level of ampulla of Vater. It is defective fusion of foregut and midgut with failure of recanalization. Incidence is 1 in 10,000 live births. Types. Type 1, duodenal complete atresia. It is the commonest type, 50%. It is usually complete separation with intact wall. In 25% cases, complete separation with wall also occurs. XX type 2, fibrous cord. XX type 3, incomplete or partial obstruction. It can be stenosis or web with an aperture. Duodenal diaphragm, web can present as complete, incomplete with a fenestra. Incomplete diaphragm with central aperture which causes windsock deformity due to proximal dilatation. Here actual diaphragm will be proximal to the site of obstruction. Duodenal atresia may be preampullary, non-bilious vomiting, or postampullary, bilious vomiting. Postampullary is common, 80 to 90%. Associations. Duodenal stenosis is often associated with annular pancreas. It can be isolated duodenal atresia or in association with Down syndrome, 30%, incomplete rotation of gut, 20%, congenital heart diseases, 30%, trisomy, 30%, anorectal malformations, 10%, etc. It is commonly associated with maternal polyhydramnios, 50%. Antenatal US can confirm it, 50% infants are premature. Features: jaundice, bilious, non-bilious vomiting immediately after birth. Features of gastric outlet obstruction. Dehydration. Electrolyte changes are common. Growth retardation of newborn due to deprived nutrition by swallowed amniotic fluid in fetus. Investigations. Plain X-ray shows classic double bubble sign with absence of air in the distal part. In partial obstruction, air may be present in distal loop and so contrast study has to be done. Risk of aspiration in newborn infant should be remembered. US will show distended stomach and proximal duodenum, railroad track duodenum and features of associated anomalies. Maternal and fetal ultrasound in pregnancy may identify the pathology and also maternal polyhydramnios. Treatment. Proper preoperative preparation like correction of fluid and electrolytes, gastric decompression, TPN, injection vitamin K, evaluation for associated anomalies. Duodenostomy is done. Associated malrotation should be corrected in these patients, LADS operation. Side duodenostomy may cause dilated duodenum, megaduodenum, 30%, anastomotic dysfunction, and delayed transit of the content. Camurus diamond-shaped anastomosis between transversely open proximal pouch and longitudinally open distal pouch reduces the problems of anastomosis. Presence of bile in the duodenum and proximal and distal patency should be confirmed by saline irrigation. Transanastomotic nasojejunal or gastrostomy tube for feeding purpose is needed as prolonged postoperative ileus as the usual problem. Note: duodenojejunostomy may cause blind loop problems. Gastrojejunostomy should not be done due to high incidence of marginal ulceration and bleeding. Small intestine atresia, intestinal atresia. It is jejunoileal atresia. It is due to intrauterine mesenteric vascular accidents, occlusion of the segments affected. V-shaped mesentery. Presence of bile pigments in the distal segments suggesting earlier period of patency are supportive for the above theory. It is often associated with malrotation, gastroschisis, volvulus, 20%. Common site is proximal jejunum. Next common is distal ileum. Maternal polyhydramnios occurs in 35% of jejunal atresia. Proximal bowel wall is dilated with hypertrophy but villi are normal. Distal bowel is collapsed but with hypertrophied villi. Narrow collapsed large intestine, microcolon, is seen in proximal atresia. Griesfield modification of Martin's classification of intestinal atresia. XX type 1, membranous, mucosal with normal mesentery, 20%. XX type 2, the lumen is atretic, fibrous cord between proximal and distal parts of the segment involved, only one atretic segment, but mesentery is normal, 40%. XX type 3, atresia with complete separation of proximal and distal ends and V-shaped defect of mesentery, 35%. XX type 3b, atresia with Christmas tree-shaped defect in mesentery with distal bowel being supplied by single artery, right colic, ileocolic, superior mesenteric, apple peel atresia. XX type 4, multiple atresias, 5%. Features 3/4. Different eras of rotation 917 equal in both sexes, commonly infant is of low birth weight. 3/4. Bilious vomiting with features of intestinal obstruction like distension. Features of associated anomalies. Respiratory distress, jaundice. Investigations 3/4. Plain X-ray abdomen shows triple bubble appearance in jejunal atresia, multiple air fluid levels in ileal atresia. 3/4. Barium enema may show narrow microcolon. Calcification suggests antenatal fetal bowel perforation. 3/4 US abdomen to confirm associated anomalies. Differential diagnosis. Other causes of neonatal intestinal obstruction like duodenal atresia, malrotation, volvulus of midgut. Treatment 3/4. Resection and anastomosis is the choice of therapy. 3/4 treatment of associated anomalies. Tapering proximal jejunoplasty is done if extensive length of jejunum is involved. Prognosis depends on length of atretic bowel, multiple atresias, associated anomalies. Malrotation. It is interference in the process of normal rotation of midgut in fetus in its mesenteric fixation. Stages of normal rotation of midgut XX Stage 1. In 4th-8th week of intrauterine period, midgut supplied by superior mesenteric artery, SMA, grows rapidly. As coelomic cavity cannot accommodate growing midgut during that period, it protrudes into the umbilical cord as physiological hernia. XX Stage 2. In 10th-12th week, midgut migrates into coelomic cavity. First, small bowel returns towards the left side of the abdomen. Then cecocolic loop returns to left lower abdomen. It rapidly rotates 270 degrees counterclockwise to reach right iliac fossa. Then duodenojejunal segment rotates 270 degrees counterclockwise to reach left of SMAN behind the colon. XX Stage 3. Fusion of different parts of mesentery and posterior peritoneum. Different eras of rotation. Stage 1. Exampelose major, minor or gastroschisis. Stage 2. Errors of rotation in this stage is important and is usually considered under malrotation. 3/4. Non-rotation, causing small bowel in right side, colon in left side, cecum in midlinous suspension. 3/4. Incomplete rotation. It is the most common type of malrotation. Cecum is located in subhepatic right hypochondrium. Ladd's peritoneal band connects from cecocolic loop to posterior abdominal wall compressing the second part of the duodenum. Entire midgut is hanging down along with SMA with a narrow-based mesentery causing midgut volvulus. Reverse rotation. Final 180 degrees rotation occurs clockwise bringing colon posterior to duodenum in SMA. Hyperrotation. Rotation up to 360 degrees of 450 degrees causing cecum on left side of the abdomen. Encapsulated small bowel occurs while fetal midgut returns into coelomic cavity. Stage 3. Final defect in fixation causes mobile cecum in ascending colon leading into cecal volvulus. Associated anomalies, 20%. XX congenital diaphragmatic hernia of Bochdale, XX prune belly syndrome, duodenal atresia, esophageal atresia. Presentations. Acute, recurrent, subacute intestinal obstruction. Midgut volvulus, 30%, usually clockwise rotation, with features of strangulation, perforation, peritonitis. Shock, septicemia, passage of dark blood per rectum, edema and erythema of anterior abdominal wall. In children, failure to thrive, recurrent abdominal pain, cyclical vomiting, constipation and diarrhea. Investigations 3/4. Plain X-ray abdomen shows air fluid levels. 3/4. Barium meal, dilute, microbarium, and follow-through X-ray is the investigation of choice. US abdomen, CT abdomen, if needed. Hematocrit, serum electrolytes estimation. Treatment: resuscitation, antibiotics, fluid and electrolytes, blood transfusion. Laparotomy through horizontal incision is done. Clockwise rotated midgut which is congested and cyanotic is identified. Untwisting of the midgut in counterclockwise direction is done. Viability of bowel is confirmed. Color: vessels in mesentery, peristalsis, on table Doppler. Ladd's band is divided. Large bowel is repositioned in left side. The entire duodenum is cocharized and the ligament of Treitz is divided so that duodenum becomes straight towards right iliac fossa. This achieves wide root of the mesentery and places the small bowel in the right side of the abdomen, thus preventing further volvulus. A complementary appendicectomy is done. Ladd's operation. After laparotomy, if bowel is gangrenous, it is resected and remaining parts of the bowel are exteriorized as enterostomies. A second look operation is done to look for viability of remaining bowel and also to maintain the continuity. Often it will be extensive bowel resection leading into poor prognosis. Meconium ileus. It is neonatal manifestation of fibrocystic disease of the pancreas wherein thick meconium, which is viscid and pasta-like, gets collected in the terminal ileum. Because of inspisation it forms a firm bolus leading to obstruction of the ileum. Neonates present with features of ileal obstruction as well as respiratory dysfunction, exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, and high salt in the sweat, Na plus and Cl more than 90 millimoles, L. Meconium ileus occurs in 15% of patients with cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is an autosomal recessive disease involving bronchioles, exocrine pancreas and sweat glands. Condition is common in Caucasians. Exocrine pancreatic insufficiency and malabsorption is seen in 90% of patients with cystic fibrosis. There is hypertrophy and dilatation of the proximal ileum containing thick, viscid, tenacious dark green meconium. Distal ileum and colon are narrow and contracted having grayish meconium pellets. Meconium gets calcified very rapidly. Gangrene, perforation, volvulus can occur in 50% of cases. Intrauterine perforation causes fetal meconium peritonitis which leads to dense adhesions and calcification in peritoneum. Fetal meconium peritonitis is sterile. Plain X-ray shows calcified meconium pellets with multiple air fluid levels which appear as soap bubbles, Neuhaus's sign. Vomitus of the patient which does not contain trypsin, when poured on the exposed X-ray film, will not digest the gelatin of the film, whereas the vomitus of individual with normal pancreas will digest the gelatin of X-ray film. Very useful test. Pilocarpine, a cholinergic drug, is injected into skin to stimulate the sweating in collected sweat. 100 micrograms sweat is analyzed for sodium and chloride. Elevated albumin level in meconium, sodium level assay in nail clipping and serum immune active trypsin assay are other investigations. Commonly associated with cystic disease of pancreas but not necessarily always. XX respiratory dysfunction, XX exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, XX high salt in the sweat greater than 90 millimoles, LXX ileal obstruction, XX soap bubble appearance in X-ray, XX gelatin in X-ray film will not get digested by patient's vomitus, XX Bishop-Koop operation, ileostomy, dissolving ileal meconium pellets are required. Complications of meconium ileus, XX intestinal bolus obstruction, perforation and peritonitis, XX gangrene, volvulus formation. Treatment. Non-operative measures. Dissolution through enema can be tried using gastrografin, which is hyperosmolar and contains tween-80 as dissolving agent. Gastrografin is ditrizoate meglamin with tween-80, polisabate 80, as dissolving agent. N-acetylcysteine 10% also can be used for irrigation per anally. N-acetylcysteine 10% washed through nasogastric tube also can be used, 5 to 10 ml 6th hourly. Treatment for cystic fibrosis. Operative measures. Present standard surgical approach, enterotomy with irrigation using warm normal saline or 4% N-acetylcysteine and complete evacuation of all meconium pellets, or can be pushed down into large bowel manually. Closure of the enterotomy is present standard method. N-acetylcysteine, by breaking the disulfide bonds of the meconium, separates it from intestinal mucosa allowing its retrieval. 80 tube can be placed in the small bowel through which N-acetylcysteine wash can be given repeatedly if further meconium needs dissolution. Other methods. When patient's condition is critical with obstruction, Bishop-Koch operation is done. Proximal dilated segment is resected and resected end is anastomosed to the side of the distal collapsed ileum. End of the distal ileum is brought out as ileostomy. Through the ileostomy, gastrografin or acetylcysteine wash is given regularly to dissolve meconium pellets. This ileostomy can be kept for long time. Continuity is maintained at later period. Centulli operation is done where proximal ileum is brought as ileostomy for irrigation using a fine tube and distal ileum is sutured to proximal ileum as end-to-side anastomosis. Resection and anastomosis is ideal if patient is fit and if proximal bowel is suitable for anastomosis. Management of meconium ileus XX non-operative wash per rectally using acetylcysteine or gastrografin through Foley's catheter passed per anally. Acetylcysteine can also be passed for irrigation per orally through a Riley's tube as 10 ml 6th hourly. XX Bishop-Koch and Centulli operations done in very sick neonates. XX resection and anastomosis is ideal when child is adequately fit. Causes of neonatal intestinal obstruction. XX Hirschsprung's disease, duodenal atresia, XX intestinal atresia, malrotation, XX midgut volvulus, volvulus neonatorum, XX meconium ileus, anorectal malformation. Intussusception is definition. It is telescoping or invagination of one portion, segment, of bowel into the adjacent segment. Types. 1. Antegrade, most common. 2. Retrograde, rare, jejunogastric in gastrojejunostomy stoma. In elderly intussusception, XX colic is most common type. XX apex is formed usually by growth. XX no role of hydrostatic reduction. It can be single or multiple, rare. It can be ileocolic, most common type, 75%, colicolic, ileocolic, colicolic. It is common in weaning period of a child, common in male, between the period of 6 to 9 months. Fig. 23. It is the commonest cause of intestinal obstruction in children of 6 to 18 months age. Etiology. Idiopathic is common in children, occurs in terminal 50 cm of ileum. During weaning, change in diet causes inflammation and edema of Peyer's patches, may stimulate is. Upper respiratory tract viral infection which causes edema of Peyer's patches is also thought as an etiology for intussusception in children. Other causes in adolescents and adults are submucous lipoma, leiomyoma, polyps in jejunum, Peutz-Jeghers syndrome, other polyps and carcinomas with papillary projections. B causes. XX change in diet during weaning, XX upper respiratory tract viral infection, XX intestinal polyps, submucous lipoma, XX leiomyoma of intestine, Meckel's diverticulum, XX carcinoma, purpuric submucosal hemorrhages. Pathology. Apex is the one which advances. Into Sisypians is the one which receives. Outer sheath. Into Siseptum are the tubes which advance. Middle and inner sheath. 3/4. Apex and inner tubes will have compromised blood supply which leads to gangrene. 3/4. Because of ischemia, apex slough often bleeds, which mixes with the mucus to produce the classic red currant jelly that is passed per annum. AB. Figs. 23.2. Gangrene which sets in leads to perforation and peritonitis. Red currant jelly is not commonly observed in adult, but it can occur. Clinical features. Common in males, 3-2. Common in 6 to 9 months. But can also occur at later age group children. Common in spring and winter, coinciding with the gastroenteritis and respiratory infections in respective periods. Commonest cause of intestinal obstruction in infancy. Initial colicky abdominal pain, 75%, which eventually becomes severe and persistent. Sudden onset of pain in a male child, with progressive distension of the abdomen, vomiting, with passage of red currant jelly, stool. It is usually not found in adults. Often is recurrent. When it gets reduced, child automatically becomes asymptomatic. Mother often complains, "Bachcha rota hi, bachcha sota hi." It means child cries during an episode and sleeps peacefully once it gets reduced. On examination, a mass is felt either on the left or right of the umbilicus, which is sausage-shaped with concavity towards umbilicus, smooth, firm, resonant, not moving with respiration, mobile, contracts under the palpating fingers. Often mass appears and disappears. Right iliac fossa is empty, sign of dance. After 24 to 48 hours, abdominal distension appears and increases progressively with features of intestinal obstruction. Features of intestinal obstruction with stepladder peristalsis. Blood-stained stool is often obvious on digital examination of the rectum. Occasionally it can be seen perennially and felt with a long mesentery. Eventually, gangrene and perforation occurs with features of the peritonitis. Abdominal palpatory findings in is XX palpable mass, 85%, sausage-shaped smooth, firm mass, mass does not move with respiration, mobile in all directions, resonant mass contracts under the palpating fingers, mass appears and disappears. XX empty right iliac fossa, XX features of intestinal obstruction, peritonitis, later. Complications XX intestinal obstruction, perforation, peritonitis. Differential diagnosis. In children, acute gastroenteritis. Purpura with intestinal symptoms. In adults, carcinoma colon. Mesenteric mass. Investigations. Barium enema shows typical claw sign or coiled spring sign, pincer end. Ultrasound shows target sign or pseudokidney sign or bull's eye sign, which is diagnostic. Doctor may show mass with donut sign and is useful to check blood supply of bowel. Plain X-ray abdomen shows multiple air fluid levels. CT abdomen is needed. Treatment. Initial management. Riley's tube aspiration, IV fluids, antibiotics, catheterization. Later management non-operative management reduction by hydrostatic pressure using either warm saline or microbarium sulfate solution or air, popular in China. Barium or saline is infused into the rectum through a catheter, Foley's catheter. Under fluoroscopy, reduction can be observed. Child will pass large quantity of air and feces, distension reduces, child shows recovery and stops crying. Air or contrast enters the proximal bowel freely. Palpable abdominal mass disappears. Rare complication is perforation of colon. It is done in early stage within 24 hours of presentation. 70% cases of IS will respond to non-operative method. It is contraindicated in complete obstruction, perforation and peritonitis. Indications for surgery in IS: XX is more than 48 hours. XX features of perforation, strangulation, peritonitis. XX recurrent IS: XX in adult commonly, resection is required. Surgery Cope's method. If reduction does not occur, laparotomy is done under GA. By gently milking out the intussusception with warm packs, it is reduced. After reduction, viability of the bowel is checked carefully. If manual reduction is not possible, it is understood that the bowel is likely to be gangrenous, which requires resection and anastomosis. In case of viable bowel, often terminal ileum is anchored to the ascending colon and Jackson-Whale band is cut. Patient also requires nasogastric tube aspiration, IV fluids, antibiotics. Appendicectomy should be done after reduction of the intussusception. Laparoscopic approach may be used to reduce the intussusception. If intussusception persists for more than 48 hours or intussusception in adult requires resection. 3/4 ileocolic resection is sufficient. Recurrence rate. XX in hydrostatic reduction, 10% XX in open manual reduction, 2% XX in resection, very less than 1%. Volvulus definition. It is the twist, rotation, in the axis of the loop of the bowel either clockwise or anticlockwise. 15% of large bowel obstruction is due to volvulus. Sigmoid colon is the commonest site, anticlockwise, 65%. Cecal volvulus 3/4. AB, Figs, 23.31 A and B. Cecum is the second common site, clockwise, C for C, 30%. It is common in females, present is intestinal obstruction. Cecal bascule is the presence of constricting band across the ascending colon, bascule, French, seesaw and balance. Cecum will be markedly distended and found in the center of the abdomen. It is due to lack of fixation of the cecum, mobile cecum. Occasionally, it is associated with malrotation. Cecal volvulus is the commonest cause of large bowel obstruction in pregnancy. X-ray shows round gas shadow in right iliac region. CT scan is very useful. Barium enema is also helpful. Resection and anastomosis, surgery, is the only treatment. Volvulus of small intestine, midgut, volvulus neonatorum, gastric volvulus are other volvulus which can occur. Sigmoid volvulus, volvulus of pelvic colon, it is common in Asia, common in India, 7% of intestinal obstruction, and especially South India because of high fiber diet. It is very common cause of large bowel obstruction in Peru and Bolivia due to high altitude. More common in males in old age. It is common in patients with chronic constipation with laxative abuse. It is common in XX Ogilvie's syndrome, XX mentally retarded individuals, XX Chagas disease, XX hypothyroidism, XX anticholinergic drugs, XX multiple sclerosis, XX scleroderma, XX Parkinson's disease. Predisposing factors. XX adhesions. Peridiverticulatus, XX overloaded redundant pelvic colon, XX long pelvic mesocolon, XX narrow attachment of sigmoid mesocolon. Always rotation is anticlockwise. It requires 1.5 turn of rotation to cause vascular obstruction and gangrene, which eventually leads into perforation either at the root or at the summit of the sigmoid loop. Enormous distension of the colon occurs. Sometimes ileum comes to the root of the sigmoid volvulus and encircles it, causing compound volvulus, in which case knotted small bowel also becomes gangrenous. Ileosigmoid knotting. Types. 1. Acute. 2. Recurrent. Features. Pain in the abdomen, initially left-sided, eventually all over. Absolute constipation, obstipation, no feces, no flatus. Enormous distension of abdomen, starting from left iliac fossa extending to the whole of the abdomen, tympanic abdomen. Late vomiting and eventually dehydration. Features of peritonitis. Hiccup and retching can occur. Tire-like feel of the abdomen is diagnostic. Differential diagnosis. XX Ogilvie syndrome. It is acute colonic pseudo-obstruction. It is due to malfunctioning sacral parasympathetic nerves. Splenic flexure is the junction of collapsed and dilated large bowel. Descending colon is atonic, causing acute functional obstruction. It may be due to trauma, retroperitoneal irritation, antidepressants, uremia, diabetes, myxedema, hypokalemia, etc. Prokinetic drugs, colonoscopic decompression, tube cecostomy are the treatment. XX fecal impaction. XX carcinoma rectosigmoid region, XX idiopathic megacolon. Investigations. 1. Plain X-ray, diagnostic in 70 to 80%, 3/4 of an ohm sign, omega sign, single, grossly distended loop of colon arising out of the pelvis and extending towards the diaphragm. 3/4 coffee bean sign or bent inner tube sign. 2. Contrast enema, dilute barium, water-soluble contrast media is used. Bird's beak sign, ace of spades appearance, upper end of barium column tapers into the spirally twisted distal sigmoid colon. 3. CT scan, for difficult cases, shows characteristic whorl pattern. 4. Blood, hematocrit, renal function tests, serum electrolytes. Treatment. RT aspiration, IV fluids, catheterization, antibiotics. A flatus tube or sigmoidoscope is passed in operation theatre. Proper care is taken, otherwise it leads to perforation. If it derotates, patient will pass flatus and feces, and distension reduces. If the rotation does not occur, laparotomy through midline incision should be done. Dilated sigmoid colon is derotated manually and checked for viability. If viable, it can be fixed to the lateral wall of abdomen or pelvis, sigmoidopexy. If sigmoid colon is gangrenous, it is resected and proximal cut end is brought out as colostomy and distal end is brought out as mucus fistula, from the rectum, Paul Mikulich operation. Later, after 6 weeks, continuity is maintained after proper preparation. Resection of the gangrenous sigmoid done, proximal cut is brought out as end colostomy, distal end closed, Hartmann's operation. Later, in 6 to 12 weeks, colorectal anastomosis is maintained. Primary resection and anastomosis is not advisable because of the contamination and anastomotic leak. Mortality in sigmoid volvulus is due to perforation, peritonitis and septicemia. Paralytic ileus. Adynamic intestinal obstruction. It is a state in which intestines fail to transmit peristalsis due to failure of neuromuscular mechanism, i.e. Auerbach's and Meissner's plexus. It may be localized or generalized. B causes. XX postoperative, XX infective, pus, blood, bile, toxins, enteritis. XX uremia, XX hypokalemia. Spinal injury, XX retroperitoneal hemorrhage. XX spinal surgery, XX plaster jacket. Features: no passage of flatus, no bowel sounds, marked abdominal distension, vomiting of large volume of fluid, tachycardia, respiratory distress due to pressure over the diaphragm, high-pitched tinkling note, like bells at evening pealing, dull abdominal pain, not colicky. Features of fluid, protein, electrolyte imbalance. Investigations. Serum electrolyte estimation, especially serum potassium. 3/4 ECG, X-ray abdomen. 3/4 ultrasound abdomen to find out the possible cause of ileus, e.g. sepsis. Treatment: 3/4 nasogastric aspiration. The primary cause is treated, IV fluids. 3/4 electrolyte management. 3/4 catheterization and urine output measurement. Do not stimulate the peristalsis, don't flog a tired horse. 3/4 measurement of abdominal girth is necessary to see whether patient is recovering or not. 3/4 decompression of the large bowel can be tried by inserting a flatus tube per anally into the rectum and keeping in place for few hours. 3/4 AB. Figs. 23.33 A and B. A. Paul Mikulich operation. B. Sigmoid volvulus. Note the dilated sigmoid colon. Paralytic ileus. Adynamic intestinal obstruction. It is a state in which intestines fail to transmit peristalsis due to failure of neuromuscular mechanism, i.e. Auerbach's and Meissner's plexus. It may be localized or generalized. B causes. XX postoperative, XX infective, pus, blood, bile, toxins, enteritis. XX uremia, XX hypokalemia. Features: no In prolonged, life-threatening paralytic ileus, laparotomy is done and bowel is decompressed with Savage's decompressor and closed with tension sutures. Catchpole regime, adrenergic blocking agent along with cholinergic stimulant, neostigmine, is used rarely only in resistant cases as medical therapy. Adhesions and bands. Adhesions and bands are the most common causes of intestinal obstruction in Western countries. In India, hernia and then adhesions are the two common causes of intestinal obstruction. Causes contained: infection due to peritonitis, appendicitis, post-laparotomy, and other acute infective abdominal conditions. Materials used during surgery can cause dense inflammatory reactions. Suture materials like silk, thread, and foreign body, mop, and gauze, talc powder, drugs like sulfonamides and penicillins. Ischemia of bowel due to poor blood supply, sepsis. Gynecological conditions, bowel injury, radiation-induced enteritis, Crohn's disease, other inflammatory bowel diseases. Specific conditions like tuberculosis, malignancy. Note: it is often called as adhesive small bowel obstruction, as though 80% cases showed earlier laparotomies, 35% multiple laparotomy, 75% of surgeries in such patients are emergency 1. Causes may be classified as congenital adhesions, ischemic, reduced blood supply of the bowel, traumatic, patients have undergone laparotomies for intra-abdominal injuries, irritants, talc powder used for gloves, starch, antibiotics, non-absorbable suture materials, gauze and cotton filaments, barium, inflammatory, appendicitis, cholecystitis, pelvic infection, Crohn's disease, tuberculosis, others, serosal denudation during surgery precipitates adhesions. Initial cause ischemia, injure Y right pointing arrow inflammatory exudates right pointing arrow fibrinous adhesions right pointing arrow fibrous adhesion right pointing arrow fibrinolysis. Fibrinous adhesion is avascular. Often thick vascular adhesions develops. Adhesions can be localized to extensive. Types. Type 1. Fibrinous adhesions occur during 5 to 10 th post-surgical period. It usually gets resolved completely. It is avascular and flimsy. Type 2. Fibrous adhesions. Due to poor blood supply, bowel gets attached to part of peritoneum or omentum or other parts of the bowel with dense vascular adhesions to maintain blood supply. It will persist and precipitate intestinal obstruction, often subacute and recurrent type. Adhesions due to tuberculosis are severe, dense and difficult to separate. Clinical features. XX pain abdomen, colicky type and recurrent and episodic XX distension, vomiting XX constipation XX reduced bowel sounds on auscultation XX previous surgical scars commonly observed XX dehydration, tachycardia, hypotension XX commonest symptom in adhesions is pain which is sharp, sudden, recurrent, episodic and colicky. Colicky pain is more common in mid-level obstruction. Gilroy-Bevan triad of adhesive pain is 1. Pain may get aggravated or relieved on change of posture. 2. Pain in the region of old abdominal scar. 3. Tenderness is elicited by pressure over the scar. XX lower adhesions will have more distension compared to proximal adhesion. Presents with features of obstruction initially, later features of strangulation, toxicity, fever, tachycardia, guarding, rigidity, rebound tenderness. XX adhesions may be asymptomatic for many years but later become symptomatic. Investigations. Plain X-ray abdomen shows dilated bowel loops. Oral contrast with CT scan is very useful. In partial obstruction only enteroclysis with water-soluble iodine dyes can be done. Level of obstruction should be assessed probably by X-ray and CT scan. CT may show radiological features of strangulation 3/4. Intramesenteric fluid, 3/4 mesenteric edema, congestion. 3/4 bowel wall thickening more than 2 mm. 3/4 reduced mural enhancement in strangulated bowel compared to adjacent bowel. More bowel loop may go for volvulus showing whirl sign in CT scan with whirlpool mesentery of that part of the bowel. Electrolyte estimation, total count, serum creatinine, blood grouping. Treatment. Initial treatment, IV fluids, nasogastric aspiration, antibiotics. Often per anal flatus tube insertion. Commonly patient responds in 4 to 5 days of therapy. Later treatment, open surgical adhesiolysis using fingers gently. Laparoscopic adhesiolysis is becoming popular, safer, ideal with less recurrent adhesion rate and gives good results. Noble's plication of intestines, wherein adjacent coils of small bowel are sutured to prevent ingoing for further recurrent adhesions. Childs-Phillips mesenteric plication is similar way of plication of intestinal mesentery, which will prevent crumpling of bowel and adhesion formation. Passing long stiff tube from exterior through an opening in the proximal bowel up to the entry into the large bowel, which acts as intraluminal splinting. 3/4. Intestinal intubation is technically difficult with chances of perforation and fistula formation. 3/4. Fig. 23.36. Laparoscopic view of dense adhesion. Baker's tube insertion through jejunostomy site, Stewardson insertion of Baker tube through nasogastric route. In Nelson and Nyhus method, second balloon to Baker tube 25 cm proximal to the first to facilitate easier insertion of the tube, are different tubes and techniques used. Expandable PTFE membrane barriers or hyaluronic acid and carboxymethyl cellulose membrane barriers are also used. B. Prevention of adhesions. XX instilling drugs like hyaluronidase, steroids, dextrans, polyvinyls, silicone, fibrinolescens, chondroitins, streptomycins. XX gentle handling of the bowel. XX prevention of spillage of contents like bile, feces. XX ideal peritoneal wash using 8 to 10 liters of saline before closing the abdomen. Fig. 23.38. Childs Phillips operation done to prevent adhesive obstruction by plicating mesentery. XX careful placing of the drains. XX laparoscopic procedures have got lesser chance of getting adhesions than open method. Obstruction due to bands. These are dense fibrous strings attached from one portion of the abdomen to another area or bowel causing entrapment of intestines leading into obstruction and often dangerous strangulation. Common causes are vitellointestinal duct, Ladd's band, omental band, postsurgical fibrous band, tuberculous band. Clinical features are lack of intestinal obstruction. Management is release of the band either through laparoscopy or through laparotomy. Internal hernias. It is rare entity. A portion of small bowel gets entrapped in one of the retroperitoneal fossae or congenital internal defects, e.g. mesenteric defect. Sites 3/4. Mesenteric defect. Defect in transverse mesocolon. 3/4. Foramen Winslow, diaphragmatic hernia. Hernia through duodenal, cecal, appendiceal, intersigmoid retroperitoneal fossae. Hernia through broad ligament. B. Mesocolic paraduodenal hernias. They are rare congenital small bowel herniation behind the mesocolon due to midgut malrotation. It can be right or left types. In right type small bowel is right of the superior mesenteric artery, SMA is medial to neck of the sac, behind right side colonic mesentery with ileocolic, right colic, middle colic vessels in front in the sac. Left type is commonest, 75%, with herniation of small bowel between inferior mesenteric vessels and attachment of descending mesocolon. Presentation is acute intestinal obstruction. Contrast CT is diagnostic. Often condition is diagnosed on table during surgery. Incising peritoneum sac adjacent to vessels carefully and adequately is the needed surgical treatment. Malrotation should be surgically corrected. Mesenteric defect hernias, small bowel mesentery, mesocolon, even though can occur anywhere, are common near ileocolic junction. Acquired internal hernias occur through defects developed after surgeries like gastrojejunostomy, Stammer's hernia, colostomy, ileostomy, surgeries for morbid obesity. Feature C. Figs. 23.408C. Herniation occurs in these sites whenever there are adhesions. Features of intestinal obstruction: acute, subacute, recurrent. Diagnosis is usually on table. But enteroclysis, contrast CT scan are useful. Treatment 3/4. Release of adhesion, reduction of hernia, if bowel not viable, resection and anastomosis. 3/4. Often major vessels may be present adjacent to the constriction ring which may get injured while releasing, causing torrential hemorrhage. Decompression is first done prior to reduction.